If you logged recently into CZN, you might have seen this email here with whatever this currency is. What are we doing with this? Huh? Well, of course, it's a brand new thing buried in Zero's system, the environment variables. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're just going over real quick the best way. I think you should choose a little bit of a pathway here for the environment variable system, and we're gonna give a quick explanation of it. Now, environment variables is gonna be a new currency given to you when you do any sort of chaos, whether it's Zero system or the season. You don't have to do Zero system for it. And like we just talked about in the intro, you got mailed a little bit of a currency to get you kind of updated and on your way there. Now, you're going to be starting off in the middle here. You have to pick this node. This is the core entity access node. This is going to allow you to do the Gatekeepers trial. This is that extra boss they talked about in the patch notes. Quick disclaimer here. In my opinion, the main reward you get from doing the Gatekeepers trial is that new card, the meme thing, like this, the Giga Sword that doesn't allow you to be using it until you've generated all of the arena cards during a battle. It's got like a nice 1000 multiplier on it, and it does like a 10 tenacity damage. It's a giant meme. On top of that, you get like 100 credits in. The battle's actually pretty difficult out there, but you have to pick this one up to start your journey here. Afterwards, though, you're just going to come down to this node, which is the next breakpoint of where you have to determine which way you're going to want to go. Now, each of these things are going to be costing 100 until you get to the calculation result adjustment. This is going to cost you, I think, 100 for the first one. I do believe this is going to give you a +1 dice roll to your rolls inside of Chaos Burning Life for the season. But after that, you have to determine if you want to head your way down towards these 3 nodes or if you want to pick your way up to this node up here. Now, in my opinion, for the most bang for your buck, especially with the 1,000 they just gave out, going up to the top one here, the reset value recalculation node, is where you want to go. This is going to allow you to refine the refresh for those equipments that you're getting inside of the gladiatorial combat arena. So those used to be like the cherry on top. They added some more of them on there, whether it's going to be defense % increases, exhaust card damage increases, all of those different things. You're going to be able to refresh them if you don't get one of the 3 that you want when they roll out. And this is going to help you really sort of take your builds to like a little bit of a next level as you are going through the chaos. You might be running a support through and doing a support deck. Well, the support characters don't typically want all of the different attack damage card value bonuses. They want some of the more supportive options out there. And so you might be, you know, feeling kind of bad if you're putting together your Giga support build and you just don't get those options. This isn't going to make it a 100%, you know, guarantee necessarily, but it's going to give you a little bit of ability to combat that RNG so you can make some really nice builds on your different characters, and vice versa. If you're running a DPS character through there and you get all the supportive options, none of the ones you really want, you can refresh them, look for some of the super awesome big damage ones out there, whether it's like 30% damage to attack cards or 30% defense damage or 25% damage to exhaust cards, and stack those up throughout your run. And this is going to help you do that. Now, after that, though, what should you do? Now, I personally did not spend at the start here an extra 200 for this another +1 dice roll effect in Burning Chaos. What I am trying to do right now, and what I suggest for you to do too, is to head on down to the next node you need to get, which is going to be security release. And this security release node is going to have 3 levels to it, and it's going to unlock some new seasonal fates for you, being Germination, Mirage, as well as Distortion. I would not fully unlock this one yet either, because what I'm using the environment variables for is to combat that RNG so I can get better runs inside of Chaos. Don't we all want that? So what I would suggest for you to do is head up north next, and I am picking up variable importance first, and this is what I'm going to be maxing out next. I'm gonna be shoving every single memory of light into this. This increases the chance for seasonal fates to appear in the Burning Chaos Burning Life by 5%. Now, fates overall don't give you like necessarily better runs in general. However, there are so many different builds currently in CZN that really want to be using some sort of form of like the neutral spore cards, right? Or the neutral cards that are specific to the Burning Life Chaos, whether it's the marksman card that gives you like up to 60% crit chance if you're doing like a super cool barrel build, things like that. A lot of the times though, it's still pretty RNG when you gain access to those neutral cards, and this gives you a little bit higher of a chance for when you load into a seasonal rift, a seasonal chaos, that you get that seasonal fate that is a 50% increase into seasonal neutral cards when you are doing training at any different camps. And if you pick up the Zero System upgrade that allows you to train for free, it is a very big thing. It makes getting those neutral cards, whether it's any of the sport cards, the Vanguard one, the Striker one, you're trying to put on Malin or 9, or some of the neutral yellow sport cards for like Cassius or Orlia, or sticking it in your barrel deck. It's going to make it easier if you're able to run into that seasonal fate. And you can really min-max this as well, because, well, you might not get the seasonal fate even if you have the max variable importance up to level 5. But what I do a lot of the time, if I'm really trying to put a deck together that absolutely needs to have those neutral spore cards in them, what I do is I'll go into Chaos. If I get that fate, super cool. If I don't get that fate and I don't get some of the other things I need early on, I will leave once I get to the extraction point, the midway save point. Leave, come back in, and I'll be able to get not only a starting blessing that's different from the little god guy, but also the ability to choose a new seasonal or a new fate indeed. And this will allow you to just get an even greater chance at getting that Burning Life Chaos fate to get access to those neutral cards. I'm going to max this thing out. In between these two, once you have these maxed out, you'll be able to refresh the rolls on the equipment refines, which is going to help your seasonal data be very good, right? It's going to help your consistency there. And you also have something else to increase the consistency of you getting those neutral cards from this season that so many builds are kind of dependent on when you're trying to do really cool things and sort of break the characters in season 2 of CZN, which is, it's kind of cool that the season's really based around seasonal stuff this time. Afterwards, though, it's going to be sort of your pick, your poison. So you can go down here and finish up security release. So you gain access to additional seasonal fates, which will be a boon to you, because some of these are going to help you, just be a little bit stronger inside of the seasonal chaos area. And on top of that, guess what? If you get these second, you're going to have a much higher chance to run into them in the first place, because you're going to have variable importance maxed out first. Other things you could try to do is make your way all the way over for the last one in environment settings. And this is just going to give you a little bit of a buff at the start of combat. You're going to get 1 evasion when you activate a damage, healing, and a shield card within 1 turn. This, I think, isn't the craziest thing in the world. I mean, getting an evasion is really strong, but if I'm doing damage and healing and shielding with a card all in 1 turn, my gears are kind of already turning. I'm kind of already doing what I want with my deck. Do I really need to dodge the next hit at that point in time? Probably not there. This doesn't really add any sort of big consistency or big fun to your runs in Chaos. So I would hold out and get this one last. To recap there, you got to get this one. Only put 1 point in this for the +1 on the dice rolls. Maximize the equipment refresh, maximize variable importance for those Burning Life fates, then get some security release, and then just afterwards finish up the environment settings. If you're saying, Josh, I don't know anything and if you're saying, Josh, I don't know anything, I just got back, you're talking about upgrades to the Zero System, don't worry, I have a video all about exactly how you can cherry pick the best ones, even without having to grind the game, as long as you just come back in and follow that guide. Check out the link in the description to that one as well. Hit the like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.